And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like those of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his throne and great authority. In the previous study, we ended with the understanding that the beast of Revelation 13 denotes the carnal nature, resulting in the carnal mind, symbolized as the seven heads. The carnal nature is defined by the definition of the word beast and the threefold description given in the preceding passages. The leopard, bear, and lion are carnivores. They eat flesh. So we read the following. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. The mind that is set on the flesh is the mind that consumes flesh, figuratively speaking. In John 6:53, Jesus said, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man. By no means is he being literal, having likened his flesh to the bread or manna from heaven. In Revelation 19, verses 17 and 18, an angel standing in the sun cries with a loud voice to all the birds that fly in the midst of heaven, calling them to the supper of the great God, that you may eat the flesh of kings, the flesh of captains, the flesh of mighty men, the flesh of horses, and of those who sit on them, and the flesh of all people, free and slave, both small and great. Birds typify thoughts moving from one person to another by the power of speech. The flesh of kings refers to the seven heads of the dragon and beast, while the flesh of captains, mighty men, horses, and those who sit on them, and all people, free and slave, both small and great, defines everyone who abides under the power and authority of the carnal nature and mind. That would be all of us. In a word, Paul calls this power and authority the wisdom of this world. When we continue to Revelation 19, verse 19, we are given a summation of these kings, captains, mighty men, and so on, defined as the beast, the kings of the earth, and their armies. As this verse indicates, they are gathered together to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army. This would be Christ the Lord, and is called, chosen, and faithful. Since this is a battle where birds feast on flesh, then we're seeing a picture of the inward struggle between the carnal nature and mind of the flesh and the spiritual nature and mind of the spirit. This, my friend, is the true Armageddon. Our word heads in seven heads refers to someone or something that holds power and authority over us, confirmed by the analogy of mountains and kings, bringing us to the following. But I want you to understand that Christ is the head of every man, and the man is the head of a woman, and God is the head of Christ. Man is the head of a woman. This being true, our seven heads then denote the male aspect of the carnal mind, hence 7 kings, not queens. But keep in mind that 7 denotes fullness, so just as there is but one beast with 7 heads, there is but one king, sevenfold in nature and mind. Who is this king? Spiritually speaking, it is the king of Babylon. How do we know? Because in Revelation 18, verse 7, Babylon, female, declares, I sit queen and am no widow. For this reason, the dreams of Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel have relevance to what we see in Revelation. It's important to keep the carnal nature and mind separated in understanding. The beast is the nature, while the heads are the sevenfold essence of this nature, the carnal mind. When seen in this fashion, we can describe this sevenfold essence by the following passages. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. When we pay close attention to the 7 things the Lord hates, we find that the first 5 denote the whole person, head to feet, while the 6th shows what this person is, a false witness who speaks lies, and the 7th, what this person does, sows discord among brethren. 5 signifies sin or grace, alluding to our works or deeds and conduct in life. So again, the 6th shows what we are when steeped in the carnal nature and mind, while the 7th, the manifestation of both. Once the Spirit of Christ enters into our lives, the inward battle intensifies and continues almost unabated, exposing these elements and slowly bringing destruction to their power and authority over us. If both the dragon and beast have 7 heads, then simple logic dictates that they represent the same thing for both entities, the carnal mind. This makes perfect sense in light of our passages from Proverbs 6, for nowhere else in Scripture do we find 7 things the Lord hates enumerated in such fashion. Now, if this is true for the heads, it is true for the horns. Naturally speaking, horns are an extension of the head. So we read, the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. Kings with the beast. And compared to the following, I'm inclined to believe that the horns represent the armies. And I saw the beast, the kings of the earth, and their armies, gathered together to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army. Then the beast was captured, and with him the false prophet who worked signs in his presence, by which he deceived those who received the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image. These 2 were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. First, the beast or carnal nature, followed by the kings of the earth. Might this be the 7 kings in Revelation 17, verse 10? That is, the 7 heads of the beast, denoting the carnal mind? What other kings would it be? So the 10 horns, being extensions of the head, are the armies, those who receive the mark of the beast and worship his image. In other words, any and all who have affection and adoration for the carnal nature and mind. Paul describes this very thing in the following. And just as they did not see fit to acknowledge God any longer, God gave them over to a depraved mind, to do those things which are not proper, being filled with all unrighteousness, wickedness, greed, evil, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, malice. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, arrogant, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, without understanding, untrustworthy, unloving, unmerciful. And although they know the ordinance of God, that those who practice such things are worthy of death, they not only do the same, but also give hearty approval to those who practice them. Though the beast has 7 heads, 10 horns, and 3 animalistic features, it is still but one beast, collective in its essence. So we read, the whole earth marveled as they followed the beast, and they worshiped the dragon, for he had given his authority to the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast, and who can fight against it? Think about that for a moment. The whole earth marveled as they followed the beast. And not only do they follow it, they worship it, and the dragon who gives his authority to it. Dear brother and sister, this is not some individual who arises with great power and influence and takes over the world. Rather, it is simply a picture of the carnal nature and mind and our adoration and affection for the things of the flesh. That being said, I will close with the following. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh, and the desires of the eyes, and pride in possessions, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires. But whoever does the will of God abides forever.